Hey everyone, and welcome back to Night of the Dead. Dev Spider here. So we're currently getting loaded back into the game. I just had to waste like a whole hour in game waiting for the journal to quit updating with all the new voice lines. I have heard everybody's comment or read everybody's comments and seen everybody's complaints online where nobody wants to keep hearing the AI actors talking. So I'll do my best to cut that out. I don't know if we can actually turn that off or not. The problem with that is like for streamers and anybody who's recording, they take up a lot of time. And in this game, you don't have a lot of time to just sit around and let them talk, especially when it takes forever. So I'm assuming I'll have to really dig into this and see if I can find a way to do that. I'm not going to go through all that right now. But first things first, we are on day 0, hour 22. We don't have a lot of time. We need to get the base set up. As you can see, I've got the platform started for the first night. We should be good to go. We don't need but like 1 or 2 traps to handle this. So we just finished clearing the research center. So we now have a gun, a couple other weapons like a spear and stuff like that. Some pretty good items in my opinion. Let's go ahead and put our gun is actually already equipped. I don't remember doing that. It's good to know. Let's go ahead and drop our spear down here though. I thought my knife was here, so I don't know what's going on with my character right now. It seems kind of weird to me. It's fine though. If things got moved around, it's okay. We'll live. Maybe the knife broke and I destroyed it. Go ahead and see about upgrading some of this stuff. Yeah, that's okay. So that's weird. My hammer's not equipped where it should be. All right, so we're gonna pull the hammer out. T to upgrade, and let's go ahead and upgrade this guy. And that's going to allow us to get into stone, cement, and all that stuff over here that we really desperately need. Iron ore. Oh, so have we always been able to make iron ore? I've never noticed that if we could. Of course, I've never had an issue needing iron ore. The main thing we need to do is we need to take this to tier 3, though. The reason to take this to tier 3 is now we can make ingots, copper ingots, and copper wire. We desperately need that right now. We're going to eventually need the iron plate rebar and all the other ingots. And let's go ahead and see if we can upgrade this guy too. We can't. We need to make some brick first. So second tab at the top here. Let's go ahead and make 3 bricks. Double tap T. And then let's see what the next upgrade takes. We need a wrench to take it up to the next level. That's going to allow us to get into making things I've never seen before. So this is all new. Gold bars, stone statues, study paper. So some of this is new and some of it's just different. We'll get to that when we need it eventually. So right now we'll just worry about being able to make tape, which is, again, that's going to take more research. I don't know if we have any research notes left on us. We do. So let's go ahead and see what we can unlock here. All right, so good things here for first day. It would be like forest worker, quarry worker, logging expert, trying to get through all that so we can craft faster. Sorry, my sinuses are almost cleared up. I'm almost done being sick, so I should be able to remember things better and talk a little bit better. We definitely want to work, like I said, towards the wrench. That's one of my favorite things. Let's go ahead and try to head that way. And this also allows us to start making trap machines, gears, and tape. That's all important stuff that we need. So we researched into that. This one requires us to get the polychemistry book. It says obtain it at the checkpoint, so we won't be able to do this for a while unless we make a special trip. So I guess he's put us behind a wall to kind of block it and slow us down a little bit. No big deal. We'll get there when we need it. I thought this used to give us the coordinates where it was located too. So this book doesn't give us the coordinates, so I guess we'll get there when we get there. Unfortunately, that's having the wrench is game changing, so I advise working towards that as fast as we can. Well, if we can't do that, let's see what else we can do. We'll go into forest worker so we can gather faster, so damage to trees increases. Quarry worker is going to allow us to get stone. I would definitely advise going to that before you worry about any of these other ones like mining. And then we're going to need a book for this one. Again, there's no coordinates. It just says obtain it at the church, central grassland. We could do mine workers, so damage to ore. That'll work out too for now since we need copper. And that's pretty much all the points that we have. From there, we need to get into making traps. Let's see what we have on us. Again, we're out of time, so we have to be kind of quick. So some of the first traps we're going to want a couple of these shredders, which means we need to build some trap machines. Normally you would already have one of those just from doing the quest line. I probably haven't done the right part to get to that yet, so we'll just make our own. Luckily we have a lot of copper ore, so let's go ahead and work on that. So we'll make all the copper ingots that we can. We'll go ahead and turn all of those into copper wire. Make us a couple of ingots, copper ingots. So again, I don't remember if I went over this since I already just did a fresh tutorial video. The first arrow makes 1, next arrow adds 10, and the third arrow adds max. And we have 1 gear on us, so that's not bad. If we come here, we can make some nails. We're going to definitely need some of those. We're going to need a bunch of rope. We will need I think it's 1 gear per trap machine. So if we look at the recipe here, you're going to need plastic, rubber, copper wire, iron ingots, and the gears. So let's go ahead and make, I want to make at least 5 if not 6 of these traps if we can. And let's see, the maximum we can make now is 5. To make another trap machine, we need more plastic. Let's take a look at our traps. What can we currently make? What do we need more of? So we have a lot of rope. Let's make 4 more pieces of rope just to get an even 50. And then we definitely need some more iron ingots if we have any iron left to spare. If not, we'll try to gather some really quick. Right, so we just made some more iron ingots right there. We shouldn't need any brick and cement just yet, though we might go ahead and make some. Let's go ahead and knock out some of these wooden planks, and let's make some lumber. Then, like I said, we are going to definitely need to make sure we have rope. We can make plastic using rubber resin and fuel, so if you have some of that extra laying around, go ahead and make that. So with what we currently have, let's go lay down some traps. Turn the flashlight on just in case it's pretty dark and y'all can't see. So I like to leave the first 2 open, so we're going to skip these first 2 slots right here on the front, this front row. And let's go ahead and lay down 2 shredders. Now there's different ways to lay these down. Again, we're going to press left alt so it snaps. And pay attention to where it snaps to. So we're going to try to center it on these for now. Once we get more materials, we'll go over another method. Because the problem with these being centered is sometimes they'll dodge it just by walking perfectly through the center. Alright, so with those made, now we're going to want to put up some pendulums. And for the pendulums, we're going to have to actually build some more foundations. You can put down some of the, trying to think of what they're called. Yeah, you can put down columns if you want to. It's just easier, in my opinion, if you just put down foundations. So we're going to just lay these down. Of course, with snapping enabled, it's trying to stay at the same, it's trying to go on top of everything. So we'll press Q and lay that down here. And be careful. So if you see right here, be careful. It'll throw you off on when you try to place your stuff. You see that one's kind of inside of that foundation. Go ahead and ease it out just a little bit farther so you can keep everything square and where you want it. And don't worry about these. We're going to demo them in just a second. I think that's actually all we're going to have enough to build. Alright, so once we've got those laid down, let's go ahead and grab our pendulums. Again, these are my favorite traps to get us going and get us started, especially once they're upgraded. So here's going to be the hard part, is trying to get it to snap right where we want it to. We can offset these, or we can unlock them and place them however we wish. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to offset them and see if that's good enough to get us by. Because you want to make sure they're going to hit them, but they're not going to hit them too late. So we're going to put one like this. Make sure you pay attention to the direction the ball is going. And it looks like we're out of materials, so I'm going to need to go make some more trap machines. First things first, though, let's go ahead and demo this right here. So we're just going to press R. And they shouldn't break unless the update changed how things work. And when you demo, make sure you're looking at what you want to demo and that's highlighted. And the reason we want to demo that is so that when that swings and hits, it sends them flying down here. And that's why we had the stairs built, so then they'll have to run up and around again. Okay, so I went ahead and made some more resources. I made some more rope, and then we made a couple more trap machines. Let's go ahead and set up some more of these. So like I said, I'm going to offset them. So we're going to put the ball on the opposite side this time. So we could set it way back there like that and try to grab them. I do like to keep these level so I have a platform to stand on, but I think I'm just going to full offset this one. And then we're going to rotate this one around. Now, if you want to get these placed differently, again, you can press Alt and unsnap it, and then you can just place it, try to get it as even as you want it. I like my stuff being snapped together, though, so it lands properly for later uses. And then we'll swap this one. It's snapping to those other platforms, so since they're already built, so we're going to go ahead and go with that. And that'll be the last of what we can build, so let's go ahead and demo these platforms, or foundations rather. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like it broke that one. So I guess maybe we do have to put down some blocking. These other two are still good, or 3 are still good though. On the bright side, you get most of your materials back when stuff breaks. We do need more rope now though. We didn't get that back. Right, and then while we're up here, let's go ahead and make some cement. I think we have enough time. So we're gonna need cement, brick, and nails to do the next thing. Let's go ahead and max out our cement. That's used by limestone. You get that from mining rocks. Alright, so let's try to get this back in place again. Hopefully it doesn't break this time. Maybe I was just one click too far over and it didn't have enough to adhere to. So we're going to cheat it. Well, see, the problem with cheating it right here, though, it kind of blocks the pathing. Of course, I don't really see either other side being better than the other one. So we'll try it here. Hopefully it's not blocking them. If it is, they'll smash through it. And then let's try to demo this one more time. Alright, so that time seems to be fine. They should be able to fit through here since we can. So now that we have the cement, nails, and everything else on us, let's see if we can upgrade some of these stairs, because if they break all the stairs, they can't get to us. And you want to have all your foundations and stairs upgraded to at least concrete, cement, before day 5. The reason being, you'll start getting fire enemies, and they will burn all your stuff down, everything will smash. Be destroyed, and they'll come straight to you. Alright, and that's all the stone that we currently have. So now what I like to do is I like to go out and gather more while we're waiting. So I'm going to do some gathering, guys, and I'll see you once the wave starts. Yep, and we just got the notification the wave just started, so we need to get back to the base fairly quickly. You do have a little bit of time, but it's very, very small. One thing to make a note of is you need to definitely have a bunch of branches on you. So 61 branches should be more than enough for wave 1. If you don't have any, come out here really quick, destroy some bushes and get you our trees and get you a ton of sticks. Alright, so here they come. They're right behind us. We're going to go ahead and run up here so we don't get hit by our own traps. And we're going to stand back here, and it should force them to come straight to us. You want kind of stand offset, and that should help drag them into the other traps. Let's see if I can get a light up so we can see what's going on. So if you click on this chair icon here and click on the light icon, it tells you what it costs to build lamps. So for that, we would need lumber, which means I would have to go to an area where they can't get to me, so then they would just smash everything. So we're not going to worry about that right now. So like I said, the first couple of waves aren't bad until wave 5. You should be able to handle these no problem. This is probably more than enough to handle all of them. I don't get why that one lower, but again, make sure you're not standing in your traps. They will get destroyed. Now while the traps are working, if we ease up here, just try to be really careful. You can look at them and it says reload with a branch, so it has 100 uses. These only have 30 uses. They haven't been used yet, so you can't see that. Normally what I like to do is I like to build a staircase to get on top of these, and that's working pretty well. So it sent them flying off. They should immediately path back up to the steps and come right back through the traps. So again, these shredders up here, they have 100 uses each, so they should last most of the night without having to be recharged. These are 30, so the heavies will come through here. Anybody who's too fast will come through here, and it'll use these up. Since the first one did swing a few times, you can look at that. It says 28 out of 30. And make sure you're also keeping an eye on them and have a hammer on you, so if you need to repair them, you can do that as well. And while they're dying, they're going to drop bags. Those bags are going to give us research data, pieces of metal, and occasionally they'll drop chests, and the chest will give us gear. And we can throw some pop shots at them if we want to get some experience and stuff from them. So the first couple waves don't usually last that long, but towards the end of each wave, it does send a bunch of elites and harder mobs at you in hopes that your traps are worn out. Now if you walk up to these, you can just press T as in Tango to do a take all. Usually they don't disappear, and you have plenty of time to loot everything you want. So as you can see, we're getting plastic, research data, gunpowder, and then we're going to want to upgrade this and keep building it bigger and bigger, because each wave gets harder and harder. There's more mobs, they get more hit points, they do more damage. We're going to want to upgrade the traps, upgrade the foundations. Our goal is to get everything to metal at a pretty timely manner. And then once we get done with that, we'll get into the further technology advancement where we're going to start building power. Once we get power, then we're going to put in weapons like missile launchers, artillery guns. You can build medieval stuff like trebuchets and ballistas. You're going to need those by wave 10, so make sure you have at least one of them built by then, or at least a really good weapon. Long range preferred. I don't want to exactly say why. If anybody's played before, you know why. But day 5, day 10, that's really going to open your eyes on what you need to do and whether or not you may need to restart your game so that you can play faster, knowing how to play it, because you can't go slow. You need to be here by pretty much like by now, like day 1, day 2. You want to go ahead and start being at this point. And the thing is you got to be fast enough and quick enough so that you can do that, but at the same time you can go out and loot, get books, build vehicles, and still upgrade your gear and equipment at the same time. And I guess we could see if we have enough materials to build some stairs to get to the top of this. So we don't really want to block that because I don't know if they can path on such a narrow path as that. So we can go ahead and put this staircase here. We'll have to demo it later. And then we're going to put an open foundation below it just so they can have room to path. And you can see we're aggroing the people inside the building because they haven't cleared it yet. And we can't build there because of the structure there, what I was scared of. So I don't really want to go on top of that because of that, so maybe I need to just build from this side. Alright, so if we do that, that leaves them a path to get to us. So let's go ahead and demo this so we get our materials back. And a lot of times it's a good idea if you can, while the wave's ongoing, upgrade your stuff during the wave. It'll save you a lot of time so you can use the daylight hours. They did increase the daytime hours, so you do have a lot more time to loot and go out. So now that they have a clear path to us up here, they should just keep pathing straight to us. Now, if you're going to stand on these, be careful, because if you're standing where these balls swing, like if I stood right here and that one swung, it would hit me and it would send me in the air like that and do damage. So you want to stand a little bit offset to it, but you can reload it from the top, which is good. That's why I like to be able to be up here. Normally I build my fighting station right on top of these. And what we're going to do with this is we will take this foundation and we'll build it out and around the wall. Like not right on top of the wall, but close to the wall. And we'll circle it back and then we'll build a second tier to go over the top of there. That's why we let the front part open. And then we'll go across that with open foundations and then work our way back around and up. And just make like a little, I don't want to say maze, but path for them to follow all the way to us to where they can try to get up here. So if we want to, we can run down here, check on everything, make sure our chargers are good. Go ahead and do some looting. Make sure if you're doing looting that you've got inventory space. And if you're going to risk coming out here to loot, you might as well also check to make sure that everything's still charged well enough. But that's an elite, so we want to kind of get away from that guy. Let's check our charge on this. We're currently at 80 out of 100, and this one's 90 out of 100, so we're pretty good. And the next traps we're probably going to build before we expand out. We'll probably put spike traps here under these to slow them down. Those will shoot up, slow them down just a little bit, and then these will swing and finish them off, or at least knock them off the side so they have to go back to the front point. And then once we get into more advanced crafting, we can actually upgrade these to metal, add power to them so that we don't have to charge them constantly. We can use cells to charge them at first, and further beyond that, we can also upgrade them to do more damage or have more durability depending on where they're located. And what I normally do is I'll build a platform off the top of that house, come around the edge and build over to that top of that building. I'll put a ton of power on top of that because it's a permanent structure. They can't destroy that. And then I'll build a really tall platform across the front here. I think last time I went too high because the guns were having a hard time shooting. I did try putting corner towers out here on the ground, but they will attack those corner towers even if they can't get to you from them. So you just want to do like a floating platform across there and then put your guns on there and let them fire. You can put them on top of us. I try to space everything out though, because eventually once you get X amount of stuff built, you will lag yourself out to an extent, especially in my case. As a streamer slash YouTuber, between recording and streaming, it can lock my game up, so it can get pretty resource intensive once you start getting everything built out. Alright, so the music stopped for day 1, hour 1. Sometimes there's still going to be stragglers, so be careful when you go down to loot and you start running around. A good thing to do now too is go ahead and reload. That way if you do get back late and at the last second your defenses are ready to go, you can just jump right behind them. Yep, see, so we still got a straggler coming in. And then look around every side, make sure you pick up everything because you're going to want as much research data, cloth, gunpowder, and all that stuff as you can get right now. Later on, the cloth and research data is just garbage. You'll have plenty, but check both sides because these threw them off. Later on in the waves, you're going to want to make sure you run around and have the proper materials on you to repair the foundations and the stairs because they will get destroyed and hurt. Same thing with your traps. We're going to reload these, and that should leave us in good shape. That brings us to another good thing that we can build if we have the materials on us. Come down here, hit your trap icon, hit this small mousetrap looking icon, and we're going to want to start setting up some small animal traps. We need seeds for that. Let's run up here, see if we have any seeds available. We should after all the gathering we've done. We are kind of low on stone, but we're going to go ahead and build these out. I guess we can, I normally put them on the other side. Let's try them over here this time and see how they work. We might have to move them later. So again, press B as in Bravo, trap icon, mouse trap icon, then small animal trap. You're going to want a bunch of these. Now you can hunt animals, or you can set these traps out and eventually you'll get what you need, except for on certain ones like birds and stuff. And you're going to want to check these on a regular basis. It's a good way to get food and to get upgrade materials so that we can carry more resources and loot. Okay, so it's purple, that means we can't build anymore, but we have those set up, so we'll let those work. Just let them run. You don't have to do anything else to them until you see them falling down. Then we'll go over there and gather any type of animal we find underneath them. Now I'm going to stock all of our stuff back where we can actually grab our books and see about doing some research. And let's take a look here, see what we have. So we have mining, so that gives us pickaxe attack speed plus 10%. That's pretty good. I think we're actually going to go with that. Then we have master worker, damage trees, boulders, and ore plus 20%, but we need a book for that one. Under skills, you're going to want to work into vehicle engines. Those will help you a lot in the long run. Eventually, we're going to want to work down junior chemist and all these other sources too. Here we can do combat. It's not that expensive, so it can help us out. So we'll go ahead and do some of that because we do need to go out and loot. This one's going to take a graduate book, graduation thesis. To get that, you have to kill the graduation zombies, the fast movers. Typically for them, you're going to want to have a gun because they're going to run all over the place. This one's going to give us damage taken minus 2%. Another good one to have to get started. Here we have utilities, so some of this will give us stamina regeneration. We're currently low on research, so we're not going to worry about it. Alright, so now that we have the wave done and we've cleaned out our inventory, we're going to go back out and we need to clear the house that we're on top of. The last time I cleared this, there was nothing in it anymore, so there's no massive loot in here. No reason for me to really cover this. I think from here, though, just to make this episode the right amount of length, we don't have time to really do the hospital. That's going to be like a whole episode in itself because it's like the research center. It's one of the important areas to go to. So like I said, we'll go ahead and clear. I'm going to clear this building and get some loot. We'll drop that off. And from here, I think we'll go loot the church inside of the city. And that should give us another book. So when coming inside these buildings, though, be careful. There can be tons of mobs like you see on the steps right there waiting on us. One right here waiting on us. And a lot of times it'll alert all of them. What you could do if you wanted to is take a trap with you and lay it down and just run circles around it. And then let's try out our spear. I haven't tried a spear in a while. Always aim for headshots, even with the spear. Like I said, the spear is one of my favorite weapons because it reaches through multiple enemies at once. Now, when searching these rooms, make sure you look at the behind the doors as soon as you walk in. Some of the zombies like to be hidden like that. Now, this building's not too crazy like it used to be. I'm not sure where these two guys just came from. As you see right there, this one dropped us a chest, so that should give us some gear or a weapon. So we just got some brass knuckles. Inside these rooms, you can find all kinds of loot, so make sure you check everything. I like to clear before I loot, so looking pretty good here. So we're going to clear this room out. So this box will give us basic materials. These are ammo crates, so it'll give us ammo. Then you can open these containers to search for a random assortment of loot. Refrigerators obviously are going to give you food typically. And you can break these down once you get the wrench, and then you have a good chance to get copper wire, electronics, and things you need for power. But the most important thing when you're walking through buildings, if you see books on top of desks like that, make sure you scan over it to make sure it's not a lootable item. Also, loot all your bookshelves. It's a good source of research data and a way to find random books, because some books are just random. Some books have locations where you can actually go and find them, and they're static. I also advise for the first couple of waves, try not to use any ammo. Ammo does become kind of scarce later on, so you want to be really, really conservative with that. You shouldn't need it, in my opinion, until wave 10. Unless you're just out looting and you run into some elites, then it's always good to have one gun on you just so you can kill them faster. So I have noticed that they changed out here on the backside where the swimming pool is. There used to be a ton of loot here. Now there's not. We can still clear these guys out though. But the good thing about this place, as you can see, it's walled all the way in, all the way around, so there's only one way in, one way out. Since this is a static mesh, they can't come through it. At least they didn't used to be able to. Now here, I did notice on my test play that this glitch is really bad now, so we kind of just want to fight our way in here. I also want to say there's not any loot in here anymore like there used to be. I wouldn't advise building a base down here in the bottom because you can get stuck in here. Alright, so we do have a coil crate, so let's go and loot that. We're going to want to save any of these coils that we find for later on. You can go ahead and use some of them if you'd like, but I advise upgrading them first and building the ones that you actually need and then demolishing the ones you don't so that you can get the clay so that you can make the ones that you want. And with that, we do need to build some more storage up here. This is not even close to enough crates to get us going.
I even used the crusher to get rid of them.
So for now, we're just going to store stuff in this crate so we have attachments for our weapons. I don't care about those. We're not going to probably carry... I guess we can carry our handgun ammo on us. That way we can still use our pistol. I guess I'm going to go over how to upgrade your pistol. Not worried about the brass knuckles. We can scrap those. And besides that, we're going to store a bunch of this. Alright, so we cleaned up our inventory space. Let's go ahead and see about upgrading our weapon. Alright, so we'll drop our pistol right here. We're on our personal crafting menu. You can see here the various attachments for it. This has changed a little bit since the last time I did it. So we're just going to right click on that. It'll put it into one of the sockets down here. So aim speed plus 20%, aim stability plus 20%. So now we have an attachment to our police pistol. For the pistol to be effective, make sure you have ammo on you. And we leveled up, so let's go ahead and put some points into, see, endurance is damage taken, stamina regeneration. Let's go ahead and take that to 10. And that'll be all the points we have. Hit T or press on decision, and that'll save it. And you can see that we have coils up here, plus with these stats. So the coils that are in your gear and built into your gear, or that you socket into your gear, combined with these stats over here, that's how you can get these skills here that'll allow you to do more damage and get special abilities, i.e. you can freeze zombies, set them on fire, do lightning damage. There's a whole slew of things that you can unlock, so you're going to want to aim towards whatever your preference is for fighting. So from there, we need to go out and loot and start fighting and farming some. Like I said, we'll try to cover the church really quick, and that'll probably be the end of this episode just because it's going so long. Now, be careful again when looting cars, so we can demo these, should be able to demo these crates to get some piece of iron. You can loot cars, and once you get the wrench, you can tear them apart. Same thing with the light poles, and that's a good chance at getting iron and copper. You can loot these boxes again. That'll give you 1 research data, so it's really not worth it in my opinion. Now be careful with the cars though. Like I said, they will set off car alarms until you get the ability to turn that off, but that's a good source of fuel. For anybody who's looking to continue on the quest line, here's the hospital. So this is the central hospital. That'll be the next location we go over in the next video. And here's the car alarm, so zombies are going to come running to it. Alright, so that car alarm called an elite over here, so watch out for that guy. He hits really hard with his log. You don't want to get too close to him if you can help it. He will throw the log at you too, so watch out for that. And he can take a ton of damage compared to what you're used to fighting. Other things to make a note of to loot throughout the cities. When you see mailboxes, if you loot those, it's a great place to find research data. You can loot trash cans and stuff too. That's typically going to be building materials. ATMs, if you have the wrench, these will give you coins. Same thing with vending machines, a great place to get food and coin. And the coins will come in handy later on. You can buy stuff with them, or you can smelt them down into copper. At least I think you can still smelt them into copper. And that's normally what I use them for, is to scrap them into copper. I also like to loot the telephones. So any of these payphones you see laying around, a lot of times, at least used to, you were able to get a lot of wire and stuff from them. We can actually come over here to see those. Be careful on this side. A lot of times there's another elite right there hanging out, guarding the front of the hospital. So let's ease over here to these telephone booths. And like I said, you can see you can get tons of these wands here to spend for money. Oh, and he sees us, so watch out. If he hits us, it will hurt really, really bad, if not kill us. Alright, so right there we just got a good drop. Let's see what he gives us. Woodcutter's axe and research data. So, but it's a rare woodcutter's axe, so it's probably better than the one we currently have. Alright, so this is the police station right here next to me on the left. So it's right below our current building zone. I used to build in here all the time just so I could put guns on the buildings around us. It still works out pretty well, just watch out for the lag. It's a great place to get ammo. There used to be a book inside. I'm not sure if there still is or not. We'll have to go and check that out. But we're not headed there today. I did have somebody request if I would play in first person. So if anybody else would like to see first person view, i.e. like right here, let me know. I haven't really played this way because I like to be able to see behind me. But we can try this for a second just to see how it works out. As you can see while you're looting right now, you can't see around you. So things could easily ease up behind you. Alright, so here's a little church that we're headed to. I know for a fact there's a book in there. We got the warning when we came through. Sometimes when you get close to stuff, they'll tell us there's a book nearby. Okay, so aiming is definitely more accurate in first person than third person. I don't know if it still applies or not, but back in the day when you looted these army jeeps, they would be full of ammo. We'll check that out in a second. First, we want to figure out where the elite's at. Oh, there he is. So this is what I call the butcher. He'll throw his knife at us, like right there. He does hit hard too, just like the log thrower. So we're going to rest our stamina for a second. Just strafe constantly when he's at a distance and you should be fine. Yeah, definitely a little bit harder to estimate distance to be safe from these guys though. So first person is a little dangerous. Now the church is typically like slam full of zombies, so we need to watch out for that. Alright, so we've taken a pretty decent amount of damage. Let's go ahead and eat a candy bar, get our hit points back up. And then we'll open this door and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Alright, so we have 2 screamers in here. Let's go ahead and shut the doors. We don't want them getting out and running around. That way they can't get away from us. Yeah, headshots are really easy this way. Alright, so we took care of all these guys. We're going to loot this room all the way, completely. Make sure we pick up all of our bags. We're going to break down all these boxes. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's kind of noisy and loud. And it looks like we've got a couple of trophies here too. So Stone Throw Trophy and Spitter Trophy. These are new items that didn't used to exist in the game. And like I said, we're looting. One of the biggest things we want is copper wire, copper ore, anything that's made out of copper. And let's check this, see if we can't find a better weapon or armor. Bring back all the weapons you can carry, if not just drop them, but we can break those down into resources. Higher level weapons, eventually you'll see those. They'll give us a lot better ore. And then right here is a book, so let's go and take that. So that's Animalpedia Beaver. So if we go into our inventory, it should tell us what it does. So used to do research logging expert, obtained from the church. And obtainment area is the central grassland. So we're currently in this must be what they call the central grassland. So we're going to have to figure out all these names as we go. The desert's a little bit more dangerous. We will need to go down to the subway, but I want to say that's after the hospital, so we're not going to sweat that right now.